Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Unit 14 Garage. Got a little punch list to knock out today. I'm going to show you what I've got going on. I'm going to knock this out one thing at a time. It's only 3 items, so not too many things on the list. However, there's one of them that's going to take quite a while. So I'm probably going to do that second in line, and then the last one's not that important to get done today. So the first thing I'm going to start with is the plug wires. I'm going to get my firing order run, and I'm going to get these plug wires cut in. I've been dreading this, not sure why. I've already done this a couple times before. It's just, I don't know, it's a tedious task and I'm not looking forward to it. However, it's getting done today. I'm tired of looking at it with a little octopus with its legs dangling around everywhere it wants to go. Second task for the day is steering column mount brace. So I'm going to run the piece of 2x2 square tubing from this bracket to that bracket, or gussets, whatever you want to call them. And once I get that cut in, I'm going to tack it in place and drill a couple holes right here and one on the corner, as long as I have space to make it more secure to the body of the cab. The last thing is oil tank mounts. So in a previous video, I showed you that me making this bracket right here. So I'm going to attach legs to the bottom of the tank itself and drill some holes through each of them, and I'm actually going to tap the ones that are attached to the bracket. So I'm going to tap the holes right here in this piece, and then I'll have through holes on the legs of the oil tank. That way I bolt them down to it. That being the last thing on the list, I don't know that I'm going to actually get to it today. If I do, awesome. If not, there will be another video on that. Alright, so I've got everything laid out. I've got my tools all set up over here. Got my boots. I've got the little clamps for the wires to go in. I've got this tape numbered for each plug wire, so once I get each one laid out and the length that I want set up, I'll go back and wrap that piece of tape around, put a Sharpie mark on where it needs to be cut, plus about another inch or so. That way I can compensate for the spiral wound core to be folded back and actually make contact with this tab. Start going from there. I only have one extra of these, so if I find a way to mess it up, I only get one mistake. Anyway, I want to see how that goes. Hopefully I don't run into any issues. Alright, so I know this looks like a mess because I've got excess wires thrown out all over the place, and it is a mess right now. But I've got all my wires labeled. I've got them in the right spots. I haven't marked them just yet. I'm going to cut some of the excess off of ones that need it, and then I'm going to get to actually cutting them to the right length and getting them fitted. I am going to, once I get the excess cut off the majority, make sure it looks clean, and I'm going to pull the valve covers off, because to get these wire looms off is a pain because of the type of hardware I'm using. I've got a nut and a bolt, and I got this little tab welded to the top of them, and yeah, it's easier to pull the valve covers off. I am going to have to remove that carb hat for a little while, which is not complicated at all. It's just a matter of undoing one nut and pulling it up and out of the way. That way my valve covers can clear the rocker arms and not scratch them up against this god-awful mess of a firewall I've got. Anyway, I'm going to get to that. Alright, so I got the plug wires and the valve covers off. I'm about to go out here to my little makeshift workbench on a Craftsman roll-around toolbox. I've got my vise set up. I've got my MSD crimping fixture, and I got my non-MSD plug wires I want to use to crimp in there. So I'm going to take in, I'm going to this mark right here. The X is on the side that I'm going to cut, and this right here is the top, so I'll line the top of this like so. I'll have that wire cut about, oh shit, sorry about that, people. I'll have cut the wire here and then I'll cut a little bit more off to where I can fold this piece back and have it rolled up under this little tab. So that little piece of wire right there will be rolled up like so. See if y'all can see that right there. And then I'll crimp it. So I'll show you the first one once I've got it complete. Alright, so I've got y'all set up. Hope y'all can see this good enough. So I'm going to cut this. Carefully not to cut the little wire on the inside. So I'm going only maybe an eighth of the way through, maybe a quarter. And you want to make sure you get a cut all the way around. I'm going to go down maybe I'll say 3/4 of an inch and cut all the way through. I'm going to take this, I'm going to twist it enough to break up the silicone on the inside and the little cloth jacket. So twist it a little more, pull it out, and then you see the wire right there. I'm going to fold it back. I'm going to see here, let me find my mark. So that's the top. I'm going to put this in here. Let's see here. Now, this guy up. I'm going to close this up a little bit, fold it some, make it easier to fit in the little crimping tool. I'll push this in right here. So here, open up my vise. Place this in here. Place this fixture in the vise. We want to make sure this thing closes almost all the way up. Got it. Use some vise. Soft jaw on the ground. I actually don't need these for that, so I'm just going to throw them off to the side. Let's see here. Shove this in here. Yep, let me go get some lube. I'll be right back. Right, a little bit of WD-40. Slide that in, one plug wire down, 7 more to go. All right, so a short time later, I've got all my plug wires cut in. Looking good, looking good. I've got a few more of these aluminum wire looms like this, but I'm not going to install them just yet because, yeah, reasons. I might have to bring the valve covers and distributor cap and all that stuff back out. And if I do that, it makes them one unit, and I don't want to have to take those little tedious things off and on again. So I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm also going to leave the blue tape that I have the plug wires numbered with on there. That way, if I do have to take them out, I can always go back and run my firing order without having to, count. Which that's easy too, but that quick reference just makes life a little more simple. Because the valve covers are going to have to come back off. That way, I can adjust the valves once I get some power hooked up to my starter and rotate the motor. All the valves that I could get close with the engine on the stand, I did, but that's only about a quarter of them, so I've still got a little ways to go. Anyway, I've got a measurement for that brace that goes across the dash for the longest point, and I'm going to get it and I'm going to start cutting it in. I've already got it measured. I haven't marked it just yet, but I've got my measurement written down of all places on the hood over there. Can't see it from here, but it's there. And I'm fixing to start cutting this piece in. Alright, I've got that 2x2 piece of square tubing coped in. It's almost where it's at. I've got to get one side tacked in and then tap the other side a little further in. That way it presses those two pieces out, because they don't fit totally to the body right there, but a little bit of coercion will fix that. What a productive day. What a productive day. Thoroughly enjoying myself. Columns, not quite where it's supposed to be. I'm about to clean up in the interior a little bit, or inside the cab, and I'm going to go grab my seat, loosely mount it in place. I might even go as far as tightening it down. I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to get that and see how I like the positioning of it, if I need to raise that bar up some, or if I need to lower it down, or you know, whatever, make it happen. Oh yeah, one other thing that I did today, and I did this before I started recording, is I installed the outer trim around my grill and headlights. I do not have that top piece. If there's anybody out there that has it, hit me up in the comments. I might make a deal with you. I've seen a couple out at the junkyard, but what I've seen so far isn't worth me spending the money on or taking the time to pull off a vehicle. They've all been pretty mangled. But I'll get one eventually. I might even have to break down and buy one new. If I do that, I'm probably going to buy the whole setup, or at least the lower part of the center, because it's got a couple little dings here and there. Nothing too bad, but if I'm going to replace one piece brand new, I'm going to do the whole thing brand new. Coming together one piece at a time. So today is coming to a close. You can't really see it from here, but I've got my plug wires cut in, which I showed y'all earlier. It's coming together, I only need a few more parts before I can start this thing up. I need one 1/8" MPT pipe plug, which I'll probably swing by the hardware store tomorrow morning and grab that. And I needed 5 foot of dash 12 hose to get my oil system complete, which I've got that on order, just waiting on it to come in the mail. Got my steering column in place. I still got to make a bracket for it, but that has nothing to do with getting it started. See here, there's my plugs, looking nice. I got this brace across the front. It's not 100% where it's going to be at, but that's all it gets for today. Got my seat in. My steering column needs to come up probably another inch for me to like it, which I've got plenty of room to play with on that. I'll have to weld a piece of angle iron to the back of that. Let's see here. I did remove my oil tank and its support bracket down there. I've got it marked out, and I'm going to cut some pieces to be welded to the bottom of it to attach it to that bracket. I've also got to make a little clearance. That cross member right there where you see that AN12 hose fitting laying on top of it, I've got to do a little hammer work to it to make clearance for my oil tank. That way it's not rubbing. That's a project for tomorrow though. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, press that like button. If you're not already, subscribe. Alright, I'm out.